Most English learners can answer, "How are you?" But that's where the conversation stops. Today, I'm teaching you the phrases that keep conversations going, really going. Small talk isn't fake. Done well is how friendships actually start. After today, you'll have 10 expressions that open real conversations, not just polite ones. I'm Camila, and this is English with Camila. Let's get into it.
Most English learners can answer small talk questions. How are you? Fine, thanks. How was your weekend? Good. Quiet. But that's where the conversation stops, because they don't have the words to keep it going. Today I want to change that. I'm giving you 10 expressions that open real conversations. Not just polite exchanges, actual human connection. Small talk gets a bad reputation. People say it's fake, meaningless. But done well, small talk is how friendships start, how colleagues become people you actually like, how strangers become less strange. The key is knowing what to say after fine. Let's start with the most powerful small talk opener of all. The phrase is, "How have you been?" Not, "How are you?" How have you been? That small change does a lot. It says, I'm asking about more than right now. I'm asking about your life, the last few weeks, how things have been going. It feels more personal, more genuine, more like a real question. You might say it when you see someone you haven't seen in a while. "Oh, hey, how have you been?" Or after a holiday or a break. "Good to see you. How have you been?" And when someone asks you this, don't just say, "Fine." Try, "Pretty good, actually. Busy but good." Or, "Honestly, it's been a bit of a week, but I'm okay." That second one is brave, and people love it, because it's honest. And honesty in small talk is rare. Another good answer, "Can't complain. You?" Can't complain means things are okay, nothing bad enough to mention. And adding "you" at the end is so important. It turns the question back. It shows you're interested in them too. Always turn the question back. Always. Next, what have you been up to? Up to means doing. What have you been doing lately? Very casual, very friendly. A great follow-up after, "How have you been?" You might say, "So what have you been up to lately?" Or just, "What are you up to these days?" These days means recently, in your current life, right now. This question gives people freedom. They can answer with anything. Work, a hobby, a trip, something they're excited about. And if someone asks you this, try going beyond one word. Not just work, but work mostly, but I've been trying to get into running. That one addition opens the door for more conversation. Running. Now they can ask about that, or share their own experience. One small detail changes everything. You can also answer with, same old, nothing too exciting." Same old means nothing new. Life is the same as always. Very casual, very common, and it almost always makes people laugh a little, because everyone relates to that feeling. Next, anything exciting coming up? This question is about the future, plans, things to look forward to. It shifts the conversation from what's happened to what's coming. You might say, "Any exciting plans for the weekend?" Or, "Anything fun coming up for you?" This question is generous. It gives the other person something good to think about. And people love talking about things they're looking forward to. If you don't have exciting plans, that's fine. You can say, "Not really, just a quiet one," which I need, honestly. Just a quiet one. That phrase is very natural. It means, I'm not doing much, and I'm happy about that. Or, nothing planned, but I'm keeping it open. Keeping it open means, I haven't made plans yet. I might do something. or nothing. Very relaxed, very honest, and very common. Next, that's actually really interesting. This one is a response, not a question, but just as important. When someone tells you something and you say, "That's actually really interesting," that word actually makes a big difference. It says, "I didn't expect that, but now that you've told me, I'm genuinely curious." It's more honest than just interesting. It has a little surprise in it. People feel seen when you say this, like you really heard them. You can follow it with, "How did you get into that?" How did you get into that means, what was your path to this thing? How did it start? What led you here? That is one of the best conversation questions in English, because everyone has a story, and most people rarely get asked to tell it. Or follow up with, "I had no idea, tell me more." I had no idea means, I genuinely didn't know that. You've surprised me. A little surprise is good in conversation. It means you're learning something. I once asked a colleague how she got into her job. She was a data analyst. I expected a short answer. She talked for 20 minutes about a detour through music school, a random internship, a mentor who changed everything. I never would have known any of that if I hadn't asked. Small talk. That's how it started. Next, tell me more about that. 4 words, but they do so much. They say, "I'm listening. I want to hear more. You have my full attention." You can use it anytime someone mentions something briefly. "I just got back from Japan." "Oh, really? Tell me more about that." "I've been trying this new thing in the mornings." "Tell me more about that." It never sounds forced. It always sounds genuine. A similar expression, "What was that like?" What was that like means, describe the experience. How did it feel? Very open, very warm. Gets people talking in real detail. And one more. I'd love to hear more about that sometime. Sometime means, not necessarily right now, but I'm genuinely interested. It's a graceful expression. It shows interest without pressure. Next, I know what you mean. This is a connection phrase. You use it when someone says something you relate to. It says, "I felt that too. I understand. You're not alone in this." You might say, "I know what you mean. Mondays are brutal." Or, "I know exactly what you mean. I've been there." Exactly adds more weight, more agreement, more feeling. People feel instantly more comfortable when you say this, because it removes the feeling of being judged or misunderstood. A related expression, same, honestly. Same means, me too. I agree completely. I feel the same way. Very casual, very fast, very effective. I'm exhausted. Same, honestly. 2 words, but it creates a real moment of connection. Or, right? That's exactly how I feel. Right at the start of a sentence means, yes, I completely agree with that. Right? It just doesn't make sense. Very natural, very conversational. Next, what do you think about? This is how you invite someone into a topic, not telling them what to think, asking what they think. You might say, "What do you think about working from home?" Or, "What do you think about that new place that opened on the corner?" Asking for opinions is a great small talk move, because everyone has opinions, and most people enjoy sharing them. The key? Ask about something low stakes, not too political, not too heavy. Food, neighborhoods, travel, work habits, weekend plans. Safe topics, easy to talk about, easy to have different views on. And when they answer, follow up with, "Yeah, I can see that." I can see that means, "I understand your point, even if I don't fully agree." Very diplomatic, very smooth, very native sounding. It keeps the conversation going without arguing, without dismissing. Next, how are you finding it? How are you finding it means, what is your experience of this? Are you enjoying it? Is it hard? Is it what you expected? You might say, how are you finding the new job? Or, how are you finding the city? Is it what you imagined? This question shows you paid attention. You remembered something about them. That is one of the most powerful things you can do in small talk. Remember something and ask about it later. A similar expression, how's that going? Short, warm, follows naturally from anything someone mentioned before. You were learning Spanish, right? How's that going? That question tells someone, I listened last time. I remembered. I care. Or, are you settling in okay? Settling in means getting comfortable in a new place or situation. You just moved, right? Are you settling in okay? Very caring, very human. I have a friend who is very good at this. She always remembers the small things you told her last time, and she asks about them next time she sees you. Every single time. Every time I leave a conversation with her, I feel heard. That's the secret of good small talk. It's not about talking. It's about remembering. Next, I was actually just thinking about that. This is a connection phrase for when something someone says matches your thoughts. It says, this is not a coincidence. We're on the same wavelength. You might say, oh, I was actually just thinking about that. So weird. Or, funny you say that. I was just talking about this yesterday. These phrases create a feeling of alignment, of being in sync. People love that feeling, and it makes them want to keep talking. It also makes the conversation feel meaningful, not random, like it was supposed to happen. Last one, and this one is for ending a conversation well. The phrase is, it was really good catching up. Catching up means getting back up to date with someone's life, hearing what they've been doing, sharing what you've been doing. You might say, it was really good catching up. We should do this more. Or, always good to catch up with you. This ending is warm. It says, I enjoyed this. I value you. Let's do it again. Much better than just, okay, bye. A related expression, let's not leave it so long next time. That means we should see each other more. It's been too long. Very warm, very genuine. People always smile when they hear it. And one more, we should catch up properly soon. Properly means not just a quick chat, a real conversation, real time together. Properly lifts the whole sentence. It says, I want more than this. I want to actually sit down and talk, not just 5 minutes in a corridor. That one sentence can restart a friendship, just like that. Okay, full recap. 10 small talk expressions. How have you been? What have you been up to? Anything exciting coming up? That's actually really interesting. Tell me more about that. I know what you mean. What do you think about? How are you finding it? I was just thinking about that. It was really good catching up. These are not just phrases. They are tools for opening conversations, for keeping them going, for ending them well. Your challenge today. Use one of these this week.
with a colleague, a neighbor, someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Then come back and tell me how it went in the comments. I genuinely want to know. I read every single comment. I'm Camila. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.